What up, everybody? It's Poncer here, and today we've got a not so special game. It's a public game, public server game on Space Needle, and really, this is how to be a pub star. We usually talk about how to play match mode games, but you know, today it's going to be just all about playing the optimal pub game on the optimal pub game server. And we'll just give it a moment for the teams to form. And yes, today we're going to be on the USSR team. And the star of this is obviously going to be Diamer, because this is his home. The first rule of being a pub player is ignore the no artillery rule. Because obviously, artillery on this map is awesome. So I'm dropping a heavy arty right off the bat. I joined a little late because I was just trying to reconsider even if I wanted to join this. But I still managed to get involved in the cap, so that's critical. And already shooting buildings with my first shots. Obviously, that's what you want to do. And the primary antagonist is going to be Schwanslok, who is otherwise known as Earl Grey, otherwise known as Majestics. So he's a very dangerous air player. Also on their team is Public, who's a very good support player. And they've also got Kickapoo, who's going to be just annoying to deal with as Inf, I believe. Look at this. We get the cap on the docks right away, so we're off to a great start. We lose Union, but that's fine. Like, a good team is always going to take Union. There's Kickapoo. You probably dropped that shit in there. And I'm just wailing at this building with my artillery now. And Diamer has brought his own artillery. And this, artillery duo is just going to be wreaking havoc the whole game. And I lose my scout immediately. It's great. I just love that shit. And they've got their own artillery spam. So it's going to be an honest-to-goodness artillery duel. In the meantime, Bravo's just being a complete noob with his medium choppers. He always starts with medium choppers, and he always just sucks with them. But it's enough to harass their air, even though he flies into a whole bunch of AA. Which is good. This is a grid aggressive AA. I think if anybody wants to improve, it's really, you have to not ignore this part of Space Needle. Like, this is actually a critical location to control. A lot of teams just completely ignore it, but you really shouldn't. And here's some just newbie YOLOing, but he might actually get the cap. No, he won't. This sort of newbie YOLOing, you love to see it, but this guy pisses me off because he always says, I'm a shit armor player, because he's so dumb. He doesn't understand how to properly play armor, so he can't recognize it. But yeah, in the meantime, that decap is gonna not serve us very well. It will attract Tenerife into wiping out our support. There's nothing really we can do about that, and Kickapoo will get the cap with his obnoxious dropped infantry. In the meantime, this has been completely destroyed by air. Schwanslach or Madge and Tenerife are just going to be pretty relentless in air raping this area. Spirit Gun got the guy in the air, though. That's awesome. In the meantime, though, the arty is just doing work. Pretty much any good target, we're going to hit fucking good players. Arty, at least try. Boom. Take that. So the arty duel is real. You're going to want to keep your artillery around here, and this is critical. You're also going to want to shoot buildings with it right in your face. That's just going to generate repair score for our team. That's exactly why I'm doing it. But yeah, you want to keep the artillery in this area for the inevitable nukes, and we're going to see that quite a lot, obviously, in this game. We're also saving our TA. No, we're not spending this TA, giving it we're not giving it to our infantry player. Obviously, we don't want our infantry player to do drops, nor would we want to give it to our armor player if we had any intelligent armor players. We don't really have that right now. So we're just going to keep the TA to ourselves. And TA management is the #1 skill in this. Also, just running after repairs. That's key. So I'm going to pop an E on this guy as soon as possible. Boom. Well, that's a lot of points right there. Spirit Gun somehow manages to do drops himself. Looks like he's only doing 2 there because he has no TA. Because we're obviously not sharing TA. I think infantry players should learn from Kickapoo and just be obnoxious about asking for TA. We luckily got a cap there, though. Beautiful. You just have to be relentlessly asking for TA, just begging for it like a poor person begs for gimmies. Because you really need the TA, and we've somehow lost this. That sucks. But yeah, once you have your artillery, the next thing you want to do is spam medium anti-air and maybe heavy anti-air, especially against dangerous air players. Your only hope in managing a player like this, or any kind of highly skilled air player, is to always right-click their scout when you see them diving on you, and you know the medium anti-air, you can't flare out of bullets, so. Oh yeah, this guy's very, can't flare out of bullets, so one of these guys is going to usually kill the scouts. Also, just be aggressive, like, if they're going to stay around, just fling as many missiles at them as possible. But don't neglect your repair micro, don't neglect your artillery micro. That's even more important, especially the artillery micro is even more important than protecting your teammates with anti-air. In fact, yeah, artillery micro is the most important thing. And, killing buildings is great on this map. It's really, all the buildings are already beat up quite a bit. And also, keep an eye out for soft targets. There's soft targets everywhere. Right now I'm artillerying this building just for fun, seeing how much damage I can do to it. It's a very slow process. This building is much closer and much weaker. But look, again, target the scout. Scout goes down, he's fucked. Look at that. The only drawback of my hiding behind this building is that I can't launch missiles. But look, now that he has no scout, no flares, I can go and push him off. And I'm just going to do a cheeky decap. Why not? And then artillery, the soft targets in the back. But this is like some aggressive artillery. He's in the sneaky spot. This is like a little bunker that you can park units in and just be invincible. It's very frustrating to deal with shit in there. But Good Player is highly proficient at trolling with aggressive artillery. And yeah, we're both actively smoking. Diarmer, though, he is a beast. Like, just look at the score differential. Oh, but his artillery dies. Speak of the devil. Diarmer just generates a lot of score, and this is the perfectly timed Diarmer nuke. Again, it's right on this corner, the sweet spot. At the 12-minute, basically at the 12-minute mark, you have to be ready for the nukes to fly, especially when you're on the USA side. And yeah, that nuke is devastating. Absolutely devastating. And even though we were losing because we weren't holding this for very long, and we haven't really had a lot of control over the docks, doesn't matter. The nuke really pushes us forward. Now we've moved into the nuclear phase of Space Needle. And also, always keep moving your artillery for shit like that. This artillery is going to be dodging stuff left and right. You got to shoot and scoot. And here comes the artillery onto my shit. Got to dodge that as well. But yeah, the nuclear phase is critical. Once you kind of break the cherry of the map, and all, yeah, definitely, or always artillery in from the open. The USA side is going to nuke probably after you, unless if it's an even game, they're going to nuke after you, and they're going to drop 2 or 3 nukes across this road to really wipe you out. Again, if they're smart, they'll pool and do a triple or at least a double nuke. So you have to be ready for that. So again, I'm keeping most of my troops over here because I know that there's going to be a nuke here eventually. Usually right here because that's the sweet spot, and then usually another one here, and they may even nuke docks for good measure. And again, I'm just saving TA, just carefully, you know, again, shelling light units in the open. You know, the retard Jeep train, you know, that's a great target. If you see a retard Jeep train, you got to hit that with as much arty as possible. So, and again, Diamer and I, you know, like 2 peas in a pod, just arty noobing it up to our heart's content. I also threw some Jeeps back here for the hope that an air player would rep off of them. Of course, the air players on our team are too stupid for that. For such a subtle thing as using the Jeeps in the back. Also, I put them back here so to keep them safe from the inevitable nukes. Because we're ready. And that's, again, why my artillery is here and not over here. Because I want to be ready for the inevitable nukes. And also, LGB. See, I was sitting right there. You know, just a cheeky little move. That's another 8 points wasted. That was definitely gut player. So fuck you, gut player. Should have saved for the nuke. Trying to hit my my artillery. And yeah, we're just saving TA. We're chilling. We're saving TA. No, we're not dropping artilleries because we have artillery. We're not doing drops because we just don't care about doing drops. Do we need vision? Sure. But saving for nukes is way more important. And here we go again, dodging the artillery. Nice try, good player. Look at this. Again, he's parked in this little hole and shooting from this hole. Like, look at this shit. What a fucking miracle. But he dies from air. Way to go, Bravo. And now, here's a nuke. So again, look at this newbie nuke. Not in the right spot. This is the spot, not this spot. You know, I guess close enough. But that's the second nuke from us. We got to be ready, though, because they're going to nuke us back. And so the whole point of playing USSR is to nuke. Honestly, there's nothing... I mean, you can push the Space Needle. Like, assuming it's an 8v8 and the teams are reasonably balanced. Oh, look, that's actually a clutch scan, although we do have air vision. The whole point is to nuke because then you get the tick advantage from decapping all this shit. Also, yeah, throwing in a heavy air support. Too bad there's inf there, and the artillery just can't kill it fast enough. So yeah, there is really no subtlety. Some people are always like, but the docks, you gotta hold the docks. But the docks will handle themselves just by throwing nukes into them. It just causes so much chaos that they cannot deal with the docks. Meanwhile, you know, look at this just beautiful ranked up artillery. And it's a waiting game now. I've got a nuke ready. I figure I might as well wait for a double because we all just nuked them. Here comes the inks. There's one. Are there any more coming? Yeah, there's 2 and there's 3. So they save for the triple. 1 on the docks, 1 into our spawn. And look at that chugging leg. You know, thing of beauty, but the artillery survives. That's why you want to stand somewhere around here with the artillery at all times. And yeah, I'm already fiending for a double, asking for TA. And this is the final stage. This is the Desperation Nuke stage, you know. And oh no, he spotted me. The air player is coming for fucking revenge. Just brutal. I'm begging for mercy. They're taking their sweet time. I don't know, like, I guess he had a shit on do not attack. You know, rip artillery. But we're not in the artillery stage anymore. Now it's just desperate spawning shit, getting nuked, and capping. You know, here comes another nuke. That was a poorly placed one. I do my counter nuke against them again in the sweet spot. Yeah, and if you noticed, I was asking for points. I'm finding out who's close because I want to pool my change to somebody else. And yeah, look at this Jeep train, and I get revenge on fucking Majestics. That shit survived though. That's a fucking shame. Yeah, and Diamer is close to a nuke again. Look at the score. He's got, you know, 2K. Public is doing pretty good with his score. I guess he dropped the triple, which really cleaned us up. Notice they took That's an interesting effect. They took docks back. They've got the lead now, and they're doing the great heavy air support on the heavy air strike on that, denying the cap, and the heavy artillery and the actual artillery. Brutal. You know, how do you fight that? Well, you just suicide into it. Why not? Will it survive? Nope. Well, we've got more. And this is why you don't really want to spawn on artillery at this stage. Like, it's just desperate survival at this point. Managed to snipe the scout and chase him off with the med anti-air. And yeah, look at this. The brutal tick is against us, and you might be saying, okay, you know, this is the newbie, you know, pub star team, pretty much. Like, there's nobody here other than myself and Spirit Gun with any match mode experience. Compared, this guy has match mode experience, this guy has match mode, this guy has match mode experience, this guy has match mode experience, this guy has match mode experience. So, the pedigree of the USA team is much better. You expect them to win because they just have the more high-skill players. But again, it's not about skill here. Both Clark and Diamer are highly skilled in the art of pubbing, and they have a plan, and it is to spam nukes. So I give my TA generously to Clark and Diamer, so we have the equivalent of 4 nukes in the chamber for the last few minutes. And at this point, I am confident in our victory because of the accumulation of nukes. I noticed that we didn't do anything clever. We weren't doing any high skill caps of Union. We were just basically bashing against the team. You know, Clark with a famously bad nuke placement. You'll love to see it right on top of the newbie Jeep blobs. You know, that's actually going to be pretty good. Can this artillery survive? Yes, he can. Incredible. Just incredible. Just casually backing out of there. You'll love to see it. And then he's going to dive to air. But he survived the nuke. That's like 2 lucky artillery survival. Always got to watch out for this shit. That's very dangerous. But notice just the disarray that they are in. And again, it's not about skill at this point. It's just about nukes. This is why I think a lot of people dislike this. Oh, that's going to be... Oh, wow. They actually kind of dodged that shit. There's a Majestics nuke. That's a good, well-placed one. And also doing the drops. This is excellent stuff. Having drops to fuck it up. So it's not looking good for us. We don't really hold docks, although we're going for it. Look at this. 2 Ps in a pod. We hold this somehow. Nice simultaneous cap. Good job, Spirit Gun. I'm a little dubious of all this transport chopper play by Spirit Gun, but sometimes it works. But yeah, here comes the Diamer nuke train. He carefully waited to the last 2 minutes in order to maximize the impact. And interesting, it's a little further back this time. I wonder why. That's a nice one, though. Pretty much gets everybody. It does its job of decapping everything. And all we have to do, in my desperation, this is definitely against form for this map, but I figure I kind of want to win against this team just for the bragging rights. And this is excellent combined arms. We've got air and infantry working together to deny the cap, but it's not enough. Here comes yet another nuke. Just brutal. Nothing they can do about it. You know, they cap Space Needle and then immediately lose Space Needle. Oh, and the Jeeps that they spawned, they died too. In the meantime, this is still decapped, but they have nothing on the map capped. We got docks. You know, they're dropping on it now. But I can stop that with a simple squish move. And again, the clutch transport helicopter cap. And here I go squishing to try to get another cap. And there's the 3rd Diamer nuke. You know, they haven't even capped that shit yet. Boom, they're dead again. You know, he was probably just sick of holding all 3 nukes, and he just went for it. And then we got a nice freebie cap, and I'm denying, taking the lead. Diamer obviously loves this map. Not really sure if this is a great game. It was definitely funny. I think this was just a clinic on how to save nukes on this map, and how to distribute the nukes. I think it's not a very high skill way to play the nuke strategy, but certainly is rewarding. And these guys, the kings of support, just racking up a score. You love to see it. Look at all that, 1,000 points just off a TA. Kickapoo capping like a monster though. And yeah, I'm a distant third when it comes to the score as a support, but whatever. So yeah, that's yeah, and fucking good player, nice. That's how you play Space Needle. For anybody who cares to know how. But that was a pretty fun game, and it was nice to see the server so full. So yeah, take it easy, guys. Hopefully we'll play some proper games soon. But yeah, later.